Hello there, welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today we are talking about the first week of patch 12.1. I've given it some thought and wrote them down. And now let's take a look at what things you should get done in the first week of patch 12.1. Of course, I should also mention that you can put should in parentheses here. In the end, it's a game. Do what you enjoy and do what you feel like doing. Nevertheless, for those who don't want to miss anything, let's just go through the most important points. And I would say, let's get started right away. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe. That would really cheer me up and refresh me, especially in this hot weather. Don't be surprised if I keep looking at the monitor, that's where my notes are. It's just easier to read them there than having them up somewhere else. Because up there is my slanted ceiling and it doesn't work so well there. So let's jump right into the good stuff. Number one is the campaign. At this point, I haven't read how much of it Blizzard is making available. I also haven't played any chapters of it yet, so yeah. Anyway, the Battle of Utek won't be available yet, because the raid would have to be open for that, and that's only next week. I think there will be a total of 3 to 4 chapters. And that's the first part, right? Do quests, play through all that stuff, head into the new zone. And yeah, for those who want to experience everything, the story is always a pretty good hook. So that's usually what I do first as well. When I start with any character, play the campaign and then first just take in all the impressions. What's happening around me, what's happening in the area, what can I do there, what can I pick up there. And on top of that, be sure to explore the new zone. Since I was working all day and evening yesterday, I couldn't play myself yet and had to record this material in advance. But yeah, you have the new area available here. While you're questing, you can explore. You'll also come into contact with the new world event, the Curse Forges. You'll encounter this world of Untitled. So this content is inside the mountain range or inside the mountain, and you can just decide what you enjoy and what you don't. The story will end at some point, so it's up to you how you spend your time. And if you found something you enjoy there, then stick with it. Otherwise, in the zone, you'll also find the new caves or lairs through a portal on the map. That's where the world boss is located. I have to say, not much is happening there yet. It will only be available on the 3 highest difficulty levels starting from the 19th. It will actually drop Mythic gear if you defeat him on Mythic, but in the first week it's, relatively little. To be more precise, 270. That's not worth it for most people, but if you just want to have seen the boss once, then I would recommend you go take a look at him. On Mythic, of course, even more abilities are added. But this way you can already get some impressions. And that's actually the part I find most important. Depending on what you want to play. But I would recommend running the Mythic Zero dungeons this week. In the new season, we will have Nalorak's Den included. We have the Murder Row, the Blinding Valley and the Arena of a Learning Scar. This week they drop item level 292 gear. And of course, in Mythic Plus, the dungeons are much harder, but we could only play them at the start of midnight. So just go in, check out what the bosses do and maybe pay a bit of attention. I don't know, look at which trash abilities when scaled up hurt more and which ones you should interrupt. You can start to get a bit familiar with it and take a look at everything. The same goes for the Altar of Fangs, so the new dungeon, I'll definitely go in there too, just so you've seen it at least once, because you couldn't really practice it before. And also the other dungeons that are being added, like Temple of Sethralis and others, are also available on Mythic Zero. King's Rest and Ruby Life Pool. If you don't know them yet, try them out. there have been a few changes, you can already get a rough idea of how the dungeons have changed. For example, I'll most likely use an alt for that. Or do it with an alt, because I wouldn't really benefit from the 292 here. And honestly, I don't really care about the 302 vault either, because in the first week of Mythic Plus, there will be better items right away anyway. But trying it out with another character you want to practice with isn't a bad idea. Otherwise, one thing I would recommend to everyone is delves. Like in every season since the War Within, you have to level up your delves completely from the beginning again. So that means you have to unlock level 11 first. And I would also recommend doing that this week already, so that in the new week or when the season starts, you can immediately run bountiful delves at level 11. You can play the new Nemesis boss at level question mark. You can already take a look at him there for the next week, and you too, and then it all makes things a bit easier. What you can also do is already start collecting some progress here in your journeys. You can collect Delver's Journey progress and also in the bounty hunts. It's always capped there at I think 1 level per week, something like that. At first, only normal and hard are available. But yeah, get familiar with it. There are few new affixes. You can already start leveling up your reputation a bit, whatever, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, one more thing, for those who aren't interested in any competitive stuff, is the topic of housing. The house can go up to level 12. There are new features like paths in the house and other things. If you don't feel like dealing with all that stuff, you can just hang out in your little house and enjoy yourself there. And to sum it all up again, complete the campaign, hang out in the new zone and try out what you end up enjoying. Maybe take a look at the world boss already. Play the dungeons on Mythic 0 so you can get an idea of what's going on there. Play the new dungeon, the Altar of Thanks, and level up your delves so you can get started right away next week when the season begins. And yeah, otherwise, this week is actually still pretty manageable, I would say. So nothing too crazy is coming your way. But like I said at the beginning, in the end, it's what you make of it, right? That's how I would describe it at this point. Yeah, so thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you have a lot of fun with the patch. As I said, feel free to subscribe. I would appreciate it. And with that, see you in the next video. Have a good time and take care.